Prince Andrew is the second son of Queen Elizabeth II and ninth in the line to the British throne. But after accusing him of rape and sexual abuse, Virginia Giuffre says she no longer wants him to be protected by his power and position. The Australian-American has filed a lawsuit in New York accusing the royal of sexually abusing her when she was a teenager. In a statement, she said,
"I hope that other victims will see that it is possible not to live in silence and fear, but to reclaim one's life by speaking out and demanding justice."
Giuffre says she was trafficked for sex by Jeffrey Epstein. He's a convicted sex offender who took his own life in a New York jail cell in August 2019, a month after he was arrested on child sex trafficking charges. Giuffre says Epstein forced her to have sex with his friends, including Prince Andrew, on 3 occasions in 2001 in London, New York, and on Epstein's private island. Flight logs released after Epstein's death show that Giuffre was with Prince Andrew at the time of the alleged assaults. Giuffre was pictured with the Prince and Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in jail in the US awaiting trial on charges of recruiting, grooming and sexually abusing underage girls as young as 14 for Epstein.
And she went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Didn't happen.
In a 2019 interview, Prince Andrew firmly denied all allegations. He also couldn't recollect having met Giuffre. A year later, and after a public backlash, Andrew resigned from all public roles. Buckingham Palace has not responded to Giuffre's lawsuit, but in the past it's firmly denied the allegations against the prince as categorically untrue. Giuffre has been one of the most outspoken women to accuse Prince Andrew and Epstein of sexual abuse. The FBI has been investigating the claims, but Giuffre is now suing the prince in a civil case. She hopes to get justice, saying the damage from the abuse was severe and lasting. Burdon-Manley, Al Jazeera.
Let's get more on this story with Paul Brennan live for us in London. Hello there, Paul. Can Prince Andrew actually be extradited to answer these allegations?
There are conflicting legal opinions on this. I have to say the overwhelming consensus is that he can't at the moment, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The understanding of the American legal system is that criminal proceedings have to complete before any civil case can proceed on the same allegations. And in this particular case, of course, federal investigators and federal prosecutors are still looking at the Ghislaine Maxwell allegations. Jeffrey Epstein's case, criminal case, obviously fell by the way after he died in prison in 2019. But Ghislaine Maxwell remains on bail, and her case is very much active. The other thing is that although Prince Andrew does not enjoy diplomatic immunity, it is very much felt that he would not be required. It's not a felony case. It's not a criminal case. This is a civil case brought by Jennifer, and as a result, extradition doesn't seem to apply in this case. So that's the consensus of the legal opinions that we've been hearing this morning.
What about in the court of public opinion, though, Paul? What's been the public's reaction?
Well, it's obviously massive news. Here in the UK, I have to say that the important A-level examination results, these are exam results for 18-year-olds, which dictate whether they go on to university. They've been released today, and they're the top story. That said, Prince Andrew's predicament is certainly second story, and it's headline news around the world as well. As far as the court of public opinion goes, frankly, well, it's second trending story on Twitter here in the UK, on social media. It's pretty high up in Reddit as well, the aggregator of the internet's front pages and conversations. And opinions seem to be, well, spread across the whole kaleidoscope. There's many people who have a massive amount of sympathy for Jennifer Roberts and her status as a victim. There's also a lot of sympathy for the Queen in all of this. You know, Prince Andrew was said to be her favourite son, and his fall from grace has no doubt pained the royal family and the Queen in particular. And so there's a lot of public sympathy for the Queen in all of this. And the other overriding sentiment is that, look, if Prince Andrew, who has denied any impropriety, if he really has nothing to hide, then he should cooperate with prosecutors and with this case. That's the other third strand of public opinion that I'm detecting as a distinct sort of trail.
It's going to be fascinating to see how it turns out. Thank you for that update, Paul Brennan, live for us in London.